Hi, I'm Capri Banks. Welcome to Let's Talk Tummy, a channel all about IBS and my journey with IBS. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to this channel. If this is not your first time tuning in, thank you for coming back. So we are going to be cooking in this video once again like we cooked in the last one. I know it's been 2 weeks since I've posted a video on Let's Talk Tummy's YouTube channel. There's just been so much content that I've been making and creating that I'm getting ready to put out. It's been taking me some time to organize everything. So thank you for your patience and thank you for tuning back in, or thanks for tuning in, period. See a lot of IBS friendly foods that I've cooked on this channel. We're gonna bake some pork chops and potatoes in this video. So let's get to it. So we're gonna add some vegetable stock to this pan. I'm gonna move the pan back and forth, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And there's probably a little bit more than half a cup in the pan right now. Next, we're gonna add potatoes, which is my favorite food. I love potatoes. And then we have our garlic infused olive oil. We know that this goes in so many of my recipes because we need that garlic flavor without the garlic. Now we're gonna add some salt on top. Next, we're gonna add some obey, and I brought it to the screen so that you can see the flavorings in the obey and see that there's no onion or garlic. Next, we have some chili powder. Now we have some ground cumin. Add some black pepper. Now it's time for some FODMAP Foods lemon and herb seasoning. And if you didn't know, FODMAP Foods is actually an IBS friendly brand. So everything they sell is IBS friendly. Now we have some paprika. And since I didn't cut any green onions, I'm going to add some dry chives on top. Now we're going to give that a good mix. We want to make sure that all of the seasonings get on all of the potatoes. So we're going to stir that around. If you don't measure out the seasonings, that's fine. What you want to do is use enough that it coats the top layer of the pan, and then you're going to mix it around to spread the seasonings. And now with my fingers, I'm just going to separate the potatoes a little bit more, spread them out so they can cook evenly through the pan. So we continue to separate and spread them out some. And we're just going to add a little bit of seasoning on top. So now we have some diced green peppers. And we're going to throw some on top of the potatoes. Not too much because we're going to put a lot more on top of our pork chops, but we're going to put some on the potatoes as well. So now we are ready for the pork chops, and we are just going to lay 6 pieces on top of these potatoes. I've already coated these pork chops in that garlic infused olive oil, and now we're going to add the seasonings. So we're going to add some obey on top of our pork chops, and we're going back in with that obey seasoning. Because the pork chops are slightly layered, you want to just lift them up a little bit, each one, so that you can get the seasonings onto each of the pork chops. Now we're going to add some chili powder. Once again, we're lifting those pork chops up to get the seasoning under there. Now we have some ground sage. We're going to add some dried thyme leaves. We have some ground coriander. My camera slipped a little bit, so I'm just adjusting it. Now we're just gonna put some salt on top. And now we're gonna flip them over and repeat the same steps. Now I forgot to add the ground cumin, but that's okay. You'll see me add it to this side, and we have it on the potatoes, so it's plenty of that seasoning in this recipe. It doesn't matter which order you place the seasonings on top of the food. You just want to make sure that you get the seasonings on the food. When I flipped the pork chops over, I just placed the seasonings on there. I didn't go in the same order I went the first time. So now it's time to place those green peppers on top of the pork chops, and we are gonna put quite a bit on top of here. We're even gonna put peppers under the pork chops, so we wanna lift them up, each one by one, and place some peppers under there. And now we can get ready to place this in the oven. There was one thing that I forgot I wanted to do, which was add a little bit more of the vegetable stock. So I'm actually going to lift this foil up and I'm going to add some of the vegetable stock. I've probably added about another 1/4 cup of vegetable stock to the pan. Now we're ready for the oven. I placed this in the oven for 90 minutes on 400, and when we take it out, this is what we have. Just look at that steam coming off. Look at how the peppers have cooked on the pork chops. And now we are going to plate this. So along with the pork chops and potatoes, I cooked down some kale, so we have some kale greens. I'm going to place the pork chops on the plate. We're going to add those potatoes that we cooked with the pork chops in the pan. We're going to add a nice size helping of the potatoes. I made my kale greens in my Instapot, so I'm going to grab some of those, place them on the plate. Look at that. That looks yummy already. But that's not it. We're going to add those juices from the pan to the pork chops and just let that flow on down. So we have an IBS friendly plate here, pork chops, potatoes, and kale greens, all made with IBS friendly ingredients. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you happen to make this recipe, please let me know how it worked out for you. Let me know how you felt after it. Make sure you eat the proper portion size. That's the key. A lot of times not eating the right portion size is what causes your IBS to act up. So make sure you eat the right portion size. When you have the right portion size, then from there you can go and take notes of what you're eating, the ingredients you've used, and you can see how you feel after, or what worked for you or what didn't work for you. This is Let's Talk Tummy, and we will see you next time.